out of $1,600,000,000,000 worth, $1,400,000,000,000 worth. Out of $1,400,000,000,000, that's going to be $1,400,000,000,000. It's hard to even say it so much.
The case where we cannot let this, we've never allowed any crisis from the Civil War straight through to the pandemic of 17, all the way around 16. We have never let our democracy take second fiddle. We can both have a democracy and elections and at the same time correct the public health. Why doesn't he just act like a president? That's a stupid way to say it.
You know, Donald Trump was asked on...
12 seconds later.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I probably best I don't. I just can't figure the guy. I don't know, it's like watching a yo-yo. I shouldn't have said it that way. It's like watching.
It feels that way. I want to ask. It's okay.
And those poor people who have lost, anyway. Is to lower the rhetoric based on division. Stop appealing to excuse me, I got to get this right.
And why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
I was a Democratic caucus. You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that?
No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. Come on, man.
If you want to check my shape on it, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do.
Get your work straight, Jack. Are you joking? No. You're too old to go for it. Granddaughters not only love their dads, their grandpops, they always like them, and that's the great thing. Thank you, baby. Thanks. I want you to meet Finnegan. I'm Jill Biden's husband, and I work for Cedric Richmond. Good afternoon, everyone. As Lily already indicated, I'm Joe Biden's husband, Joe Biden. Hey, everyone. I'm Joe Biden's husband. The thing that was totally different than
Oh yeah, it's all coming together.
Then he called it the World War II. He had the War Production Board. Most of the meals I eat, quite frankly, don't have meat. A lot of chicken, fair amount of fish. This is my little sister Valerie, and I'm Jill's husband. Oh no, you switched on me. This is my wife. This is my sister. They switched on me. Come on, man. Barack Obama led in the in the pandemic that occurred. So I looked at it anyway. The next president who starts tweeting should anyway. Time's up. My time is.
Look, here's the deal.
Meet this climate crisis. It's my coach used to say it's go-to time. Make sure you have the record player on at night. The phone. Make sure the kids hear words. There's only a couple things everybody has in common in jail. Number 2, can't read. Go to Joe 30330 and help me. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. We have to come together. That's why I'm running. I'm running as a proud Democrat for the Senate.
Are you sure about that?
Okay.
Joe.
Are you going to stick with the president, the last guy, on this issue? In addition to that, let me go to the second thing. We gotta. It's just, but you gotta. We gotta reassure. My message to everybody I talk to. Come on, man.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
Yes, and by the way, what you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
But we got more questions.
You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. We have to take care of the cure. That will make the problem worse no matter what.
This is big brain time.
I look forward to introducing, I would have already done it had we had not had the death, George had not been held up against that curb. I would plan on introducing it earlier, but I'll be introducing it very quickly.
Huh?
We choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Come on, man. I'm prepared to say that I have a record of over 40 years and that I'm going to beat Joe Biden. Because we cannot get reelected. We cannot win this reelection. Excuse me, we can only reelect Donald Trump.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
No. He's got a point.
We hold these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing.
Stop it. Get some help.
If you like it, you shouldn't have Washington dictating to you. You cannot keep the plan you have.
Thank you, Vice President Biden.
Okay.
Senator Sanders, 45 seconds to respond.
Because it was nice and cool. And remember Boom Boom Cannon and a few other guys that worked here as well.
Story time.
This was the diving board area, and I was one of the guards, and there was a 3-meter board. And if you fell off sideways, you landed on the darn cement over there. And Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys. And I did, and back in those days, to show how things have changed, one of the things you had to use, if you used pomade in your hair, you had to wear a bathing cap. And so he was up on the board, wouldn't listen to me. I said, hey, Esther, you, off the board, or I'll come up and drag you off. Well, he came off, and he said, I'll meet you outside. My car, these were all public housing behind it. My car, there was a gate out here. I parked my car outside the gate. And he said, I'll be waiting for you. He was waiting for 3 guys in straight razors. Not a joke. There was a guy named Bill Wright, Mouse, the only white guy, and he did all the pools. He was the mechanic. And I said, what am I going to do? He said, come down here in the basement where where all the pool filter is. You know the chain, there used to be a chain that went across the deep end. And he cut off a 6-foot length of chain. He folded up, he said, you walk out with that chain. And you walk to the car and say, you may cut me, man, but I'm going to wrap this chain around your head. I said, you kidding me? He said, no, if you don't come back. And he was right. So I walked out with the chain. And I walked up to my car. And they had, in those days, you used to remember the straight razor. You'd bang them on the curb, get them rusty, put them in a rain barrel, get them rusty. And I looked at him, but I was smart then. I said, first of all, I said, when I tell you to get off the board, you get off the board, and I'll kick you out again, but I shouldn't have called you Esther Williams. I apologize for that. I apologize, but I didn't know that apology was going to work. He said, you apologize to me? I said, I apologize for that, not for throwing you out, but I apologize for what I said. He said, okay, close the straight razor, and my heart began to beat again. Come on, man. And by the way, you know, I sit on the stand, and it get hot. I got hairy legs that turn blonde in the sun. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. FBI, open up! And what makes his wild claims and hopes, he now hopes we don't notice what he said or won't remember. And when he does follow through or doesn't do when follow through, the exact opposite.
Let me in. Let me in.
Meanwhile.
But please clarify specifically, have you taken a cognitive test?
No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test? Come on, man. That's like saying you, before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh? Are you a junkie?
What do you say to President Trump, who brags about his test and makes your mental state an issue for voters?
Well, if he can't figure out the difference between an elephant and a lion, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. Did you watch that? Look, come on, man. I know you're trying to goad me, but I mean, I'm so forward looking to have an opportunity to sit with the president or stand with the president in debates. There's going to be plenty of time. And by the way, as I joke with him, you know, I shouldn't say it. I'm going to say something I probably shouldn't say. Anyway, I am very willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental my physical as well as my mental fitness. Come on, man. And perhaps, most cruelly of all, if Donald Trump has his way, the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk.
You're a damn liar, man. That's not true. And no one has ever said that. No one has done that. You see it on the TV.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. The fact is that everything he's saying so far is simply a lie. I'm not here to call out his lies. Everybody knows he's a liar. But so that's the hard part, getting the majority leaders in a spot that he can't, I'm talking too much, is you provide the kind of help that teach people how to know. They may not know, and so one of the things that, and by the way, this whole notion of dealing with the idea that, you know, look, but explicitly is the more helpful. And by the way, you know, they may say they want to go and, I don't know, do whatever, but it may be their skill that they acquired in the military may not in any way enhance that piece.
Who are you, who are so wise in the ways of science?
My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. If not, vote for the other guy. Give me a look, though, okay? Am I making sense? You got to ask me some easy questions here. I mean, it requires, you know, that old overused phrase, you know, it takes a village to raise somebody. What we did when we were dealing with the mental health issues, Elliot, is that we said it was the same as, it had to be treated with parity with every other health problem, but PTSD and traumatic brain issues compounded the issue, and the VA is best equipped to help navigate this. As I said, you know, it's
is that, you know, people are figuring out that whether you have a mental problem, disease.
Have you ever had a dream that you want him to do you so much you could do anything?
The blinders have been taken off. They've all of a sudden seen a hell of a lot clearer. They're seeing, geez, the reason I was able to stay sequestered in my home is because some black woman was able to stack the grocery shelf. Because if you could take care, if you were a quartermaster, you can sure in hell take care of running a, you know, department store thing, you know, where in the second floor of the ladies department or whatever, you know what I mean? $1.2 billion. So you go ahead and you stack spaghetti sauce at a store and in a supermarket. You control the guy or the woman who brings out the carts on a forklift. What happened? The time, a Hispanic population, mostly Puerto Ricans, American citizens already. But you know, in the 2020 census, which is now 2 censuses ago,
2 + 2 is 4, -1, that's 2 quick maths.
And we're going to do that again right now. Li Meng Yan is the virologist who says she has evidence about where this pandemic actually came from. We're happy to have her on tonight. Doctor, thanks so much.
that's why I've made it a priority my entire career to work closely with you. From the time I got to the Senate 180 years ago.
Are you serious?
And I had a nurse nurses at Walter Reed Hospital who would bend down and whisper in my ear. Wow. And go home and get me pillows.
I don't like where this is going.
They would make sure they'd actually, probably nothing ever taught in, you can't do it in the COVID time, but they'd actually breathe in my nostrils to make me move.
What? It's time to stop.
Stop it.
It's time to stop.
Get some help.
Okay? No more.
COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, has taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. It's just, when you think about it. And here comes the train that he tried to make sure didn't continue to run. No, that's the commuter. All right. No, that's what.
It was time for Thomas to leave. He had seen everything.
You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
English, do you speak it?
You should get out of your bunker and get out of the sand trap and get in your golf course and go in the Oval Office and bring together the Democrats and Republicans and fund what needs to be done now to save lives. Why in God's name don't we teach history in history classes? A black man invented the light bulb, not a white guy named Edison. Okay?